good to go. Bingo, bango. So now you can tweet it out if you want. Kyle.
I just did.
Word. So now you can tweet it out if you want. You know the volume works.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Gooch.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio in Mattawa, New Jersey. Your host, of course, Sturch, Gooch over there, and today is a special Chop Sauce Friday, football, feel good Friday. There's so many acronyms you can use today, but we welcome Kyle Kerms into the studio once again after his bingo bango night last night. Bing bong. It was all, we crushed it.
Well, that finished.
I say you crushed it last night.
We all ate. So
we all ate last night, and that was a game that we can go over. Actually, you know what, Gooch? I don't know if you brought that up into the finish graphics. I don't know which one it is, so you might want to look it up. All right, good. But anyway, it is a feel-good Friday. There's a lot to go over. It is NFL Week 15. Started last night. We had a massive game last night, which kind of started kind of shitty. I don't know. The game itself wasn't all that great to start. There's a lot of things. We'll get into that game in a minute. But first and foremost, again, we got ourselves a weekend ahead of us, meaning there's Saturday football, there's Sunday football, there is the Woodley fight. I don't know, does anybody actually care about the Woodley fight?
No.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
You do. Okay, so I care about the card because I'm very interested to see Frank Gore. Yeah, Frank Gore fight. I want to see that. You're all right over there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring up the Saturday
don't
game.
worry about don't worry about you have to do that too. That makes sense. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us here today on our YouTube channel. We're going to give out a $25 gift card later on in the show for those who have subscribed yesterday, retweeted the tweet I put out there. So if you are watching, hang tight. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, we'll start off. Well, first of all, shout out to the people that are in here right now getting involved. Dina Simpson from the air, I think. I think she's literally in the air. That's
mid-air right now.
That's pretty crazy. She's paid for that. AJ Bascone coming in with the Chiefs, and I'm sure he said it just like Andy Reid says it. How about them Chiefs, right? So that's that. Scuba Loop in the house. Deuce McBride starting for the Knicks. I guess
this is for Scoop, right
here. He actually wore a Trevor Lawrence jersey today for Scoop. The Jaguars are in for a great weekend, hopefully, with the we lost Scooch. There he is. We're in for a great weekend because now they don't have to deal with Urban Meyer, but they might have to deal with his daughter. His daughter went in on social media yesterday. Everybody's like siblings and like different things. It's like, what are we doing?
I'm back now. By the way.
You're back. Okay.
I've been completely tuned out. I have not heard one single word that you said for the last 5 minutes, but I'm back.
We got somebody coming in, Beirut wedding, Sturge. I don't know who that is, but thanks for the shout. But anyway, like I said, big weekend. We start with Jake Paul because I do want to get into the NFL and last night's game and all that stuff. Kyle bows out here. He's like, I don't want to talk about Jake Paul right now, but I have to. We have to, right? Jake Paul facing Woodley for the second time. This is a filler fight, basically. It was supposed to be who? Somebody Fury, right?
It was Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury is an actual boxer, right? So we thought we were going to get an actual boxer against Jake Paul this weekend, and obviously we are not going to get that. But we will get Tyron Woodley again. So remember, if you remember the first fight, I feel like Woodley almost could have knocked him out, didn't. Do you think it happens this time around?
I listened to what Woodley said this was recent. He said that he had a sore shoulder in that fight and he couldn't throw his right hand after he landed a big right hand. So Woodley's obviously bullshitting. He's saying whatever he needs to do to sell the fight. There's supposedly a new $500,000 knockout clause added to Woodley's contract.
Yeah,
but that also is most likely bullshit, and it's just to sell the fight. Honestly, I'm tuning in for the Darren Williams-Frank Gore fight, and I'll stay for the Woodley and Jake Paul
I'll stay.
Sideshow.
What is Saturday, though? I mean, we got NFL doubleheader, right? And then at the end of the night, you throw on the Woodley fight. You got yourself a hell of a Saturday.
Bro, we're already knee deep in football. I think college football, Kyle was saying college football is about to start
in
today.
In an hour.
Minutes.
So we have to hurry up so I could see what the toast or the sauce
toast.
has.
Shout out to the toast, man. Last night's group chat might have been the greatest group chat of all time. I mean, look, I'm not a religious guy. I'm not a religious guy at all. But Kyle calling himself God last night was hilarious. But the best part best part is you basically named everybody else too in your group, which was great. It was you, obviously. God, the Lord Jesus was Toast. The Virgin Mary was Dina, right? And then we have one of the lambs, I think, is AJ. And then the wise men, the people that follow you, were me, Gooch, and the people that ride with the apostles. We're the apostles. Boom, done. We're all going to hell.
I normally wouldn't call myself God. I had a few drinks. The ticket went perfect all on one play. It was just a moment for me. I was having a moment.
It was having a moment, and rightfully so, because last night's game was out of control. And we start with that one. It's just to kind of go over what happened. I mean, it's not that I'm brushing off the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight, but it's just like,
well, we can brush it off.
I mean, enough.
Don't bet it.
Don't bet the fight. The shit's fixed.
If you want to bet one of the fights, take Frank Gore.
Frank Gore by knockout. How about that? Pick fish.
No,
maybe
he's gonna get hit in his forehead so many times, and Darren Williams gonna be like, "I'm done. I can't do it." Frank Gore's a battering ram.
I'm with it. But anyway, so last night's game started off kind of abysmal, right? Like what went into the mind of both of these coaches with nobody wanted to kick any field goals? Was that like a strike against Lambeau? Like after Josh Lambeau came out and said what he said? Like, do you think they're like, you know what? F all these kickers. You know, they're not people anymore.
Brandon Staley,
let's get away from
his
this.
Name?
The
Chargers coach.
Yes.
He's just a big time analytics guy. And
he was riding the analytics way too hard last night.
You hear his comments after the game. He said the fastest way to victory against a team like the Chiefs is to go for it on 4th and 1. And he's probably right, because this guy sounds like a genius when he talks, and like not just a regular genius, that he's like a football genius and a math genius. And he's the guy. He's the guy that everybody's thinking about when they're like, how can we hire one of these new age coaches? He's the guy.
So he's the McVay without the swag.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean,
he's
like McVay's a stud.
Yeah, he's like the Belichick version of McVay, where he has no swag. You'll see this guy. He's just very dry and direct. But
I was all over Patrick Mahomes last night, as far as on Twitter, because I'm a Dak apologist. He's on the wall behind me. Can't see it because of the camera angle, but I'm a Cowboys fan. So every time that Mahomes threw a bad throw, and it wasn't even a bad throw. Like, some of these throws were like spikes into the earth, and I was just like, if Dak did that, Twitter would explode and say, like, how could you pay this guy? Let's all keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Mahomes is a $500 million quarterback. Will he see all that money? I don't know, but that's the contract you gave him, and he couldn't even get the laces on his fingers to throw an out route. Like, what are we kind of conceding on the fact that, like, yes, he's an all-world player. However, there's many elements of his game that stink.
Yes, there is elements of his game that stink, but Pat Mahomes is proven. It's hard to take credit away from this guy. He's a Super Bowl champion, and granted, he got the contract. Maybe the Chiefs fucked up, but really, did they? I mean, Dak is getting
when you spread it over time, I guess you can make it work
too. And that's just the going rate. The quarterback contracts. It's hard. I know Kyle's thoughts on him, but he understands as well that that's just the going rate.
They had to sign him.
They have to sign him.
You can't let Mahomes
in both situations, but really. I mean,
Mahomes, you had to sign him. That's fine, but that contract,
Mahomes, you can talk all you want about him. He finished with like 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a game winning.
And it all came in the fourth quarter. It was 29 points scored in the fourth quarter.
Honestly, when I want my quarterback to do it.
Fine, but I'm saying throughout the course of the game, this could have been a runaway. Had these teams, like, don't you think the Chargers are looking back at it now? Yes, I get it. They lost the game, but like, don't you think that coach is like, I went all analytics heavy, and if I would have just taken those 9 points that I left on the board, off the board, whatever the terminology is, you left those points out there. You went for it on 4th and 1. How many times? Like, the game doesn't go to overtime if you kick some field goals.
I think maybe the first one was a little iffy, but when they're on the goal line, every coach in the league is going for that there on 4th and 1 in that spot. I don't know, maybe because of the situation, you go up 4, but you have one of the most high-powered offenses and a guy that typically plays insanely well in the fourth quarter. I'm not giving the ball back to Mahomes in that situation with a chance to – I have a chance to really put the game up 8. I'm taking the chance.
I don't think either coach had much confidence in their defense to make a stop. And I think what we learned the most is how much of a night and day difference it is with this Chiefs defense without Chris Jones and Willie Gay out there.
Right.
Because all of a sudden this Chiefs defense was looking like a top 2 or 3 defense for 4 straight weeks. You take those 2 guys out, and I mean, Justin Herbert was pretty good last night. He wasn't amazing, but that Chargers offense was moving just fine, ripping off 7-8 yard runs.
Yeah, shout out to Troy Aikman, who was like, oh, in Chargers, they're not typically a run offense. Like, Troy, guy, are you watching the game? Because they ran it like 9 times in a row.
Is there any news on what happened with Eckler? Because I noticed that he didn't come back in the game. It was like,
I don't know if there's news, but I went against him in fantasy in 2 leagues and playoffs, and I was like, I was okay with his performance.
I had a great fantasy day.
I had Tyreek Hill, and that was fun.
I'm in a good spot in 4 leagues. Kelsey fucking did me right last night.
I mean,
Finally.
yeah,
I've been talking so
Kelsey's
much shit about him for the
We
past
do.
month.
We do. We say he's soft and we say he's not like, the best tight end in football anymore because we're watching guys like Kittle make astronomical catches. But Kelsey went off last night.
Kelsey's the best receiving option at tight end in football. That's not going to change.
Because he's open a lot.
But Kittle's
you know what I
just
mean?
a
He
better
gets
football
open a lot.
player.
He's a good route runner. He knows how to follow the eyes of Mahomes, to follow him down the field. There's a lot of plays like that for Mahomes where they were like, Mahomes is scrambling. You do what you're taught to do. Go back to the quarterback. Go find your man. You know what I mean? They found Hill twice like that where he had to come back to the ball and made a play.
Were the Chiefs 3-4 at one point?
Yes.
Right?
And now here we are at
10-4.
10-4.
Yeah. So
they're playing.
Mahomes is fine.
No, I'm not saying he's
defense
not
is gonna be
fine.
fine.
He's definitely one of the, if not the best quarterback in
His
football
mechanics
outside
are
of.
weird this year, though. He's throwing a lot with
I
his
agree.
feet together. He's throwing unnecessary sidearm. I think he's probably still the most talented quarterback. I think he's just gotten a little complacent. Kind of needs to get back to the basics.
Robert Bohannon showing up. I think he's talking about Andy Reid here. He's been back-to-back Super Bowls, and he's one loss to Brady. He could do all right now. So basically saying, like, whatever Andy Reid says, you got to kind of
Do you think there's
give him a little credit.
anything to say about the fact that I found out yesterday that Andy Reid is no longer calling the plays this season, and it is Eric Bieniemy. So there could be a little bit of that involved with the offense is obviously struggling more this year than it has in years past, although they're still a decent
It looks
offense.
like he's just missing throws, though. It doesn't look like – I don't know. I would have to do a deeper dive into their film, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like Mahomes is just a little off. But again, is anyone going to be surprised if, like, second round of the playoffs, the Chiefs come out and Mahomes throws 500?
No.
And none of us are going to be surprised.
Nobody's going to be
In
surprised.
fact,
at that.
I'm probably expecting that.
I'll probably bet it.
How many times did you have the over on the amount of times they looked at Tre'Davious Ward last night? Like he was being picked on by the Chargers receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, all those guys. And look, I'd be remiss to not shout out the young man who got hurt in the beginning of the game that kind of really shook everybody in the beginning of that game. That was a very scary sight. Right now they're calling it stable. I don't think they want to make any calls until it's actually official. But like, we talked about this a couple of days ago about Joe Buck, right? About how we like him, how he's a part of history and a lot of historic calls. Y'all heard what he said last night?
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's shaking, he's shivering. It is a little colder.
I mean,
I'm like,
I'm going to give him the
please
pass.
Don't. No. I'm not giving him a pass.
I'm going to give him
You're
a
not a
pass
doctor.
on this. Joe Buck is a professional, and I'm not quite there yet. So I'm going to give him a pass because of how I handled the Marius Thomas thing the other day.
I mean,
I was like, you were talking about it where you were paying homage, and then you mentioned that it's right around the holidays. I was like, yeah, his birthday was on Christmas. He was on his way to being 34.
Right. And that was like, but you didn't know what to say, which is fine.
I wasn't trying to make a joke, but
here's the thing.
Almost came off that way.
Here's the difference. You and we just talk, right? Joe Buck has an earpiece. He has producers. He has people in his ear saying, make sure you tell him about this. Here he is. Here's his condition, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's colder. It's like a weird cold night in Los Angeles tonight. So that's why he's shaking.
It was
he's shaking because he's having a fucking seizure.
Yeah.
Like the guy was in no good condition. Like Joe Buck dropped the ball big time on that one. But anyway, we hope and prayers out to his family, and we hope he's okay. But yeah, Joe Buck
want
really
to mention one more thing about the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure that they were like 2-13 against the spread at certain point early in this season, and they've covered like 6 out of the last 7. So
so they're 7-7. They're right in 500 club. But yeah, no, Robert Bohannon is saying no pass to Joe Buck. There's no there's no pass. That you can't mess that up. You are on national TV in your final broadcast.
Hard on Joe Buck.
I didn't know this until last night. There's no more Fox on Thursday Night Football.
I have no idea.
They said it a million times. Like Strahan was like, "Oh, I loved it here." Blah blah blah. Next year, exclusively on Amazon.
Ooh,
like boy, oh boy, did they make a deal. The NFL just cashed in. Amazon cashed in. Fox, how do you lose Thursday Night Football in a bidding war?
Well, they only had it for this year, right? Wasn't it NFL Network last year?
No, it was a lot of Fox. There was a lot of Fox because they used to do it in New York. It was cold. Remember, they all had jackets in the winter and stuff.
Remember.
Now they moved out to LA with all their equipment and stuff, and now it's
so
like
it's
not
only
so
on
bad.
Amazon. Does like Fox somehow own Amazon?
I don't think so, bro. I think I don't know.
That shit comes to
it's crazy to me though. Like that's an insane turn of events for any programming people. Now you have to go stream it on Amazon or buy NFL Network, which is not free. So it's like no matter what, everything costs money, and it's just insane.
Who's Amazon hiring to call the game?
Probably Joe Buccaneers. So I would assume
it's the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy now. There's no more Fox on NFL Thursday night. That to me, that's
I didn't even know
weird.
what it was on. To be honest, I do all my shit through like Hulu, so.
It's going to be Amazon Prime only. Scuba Loop coming in telling me Amazon Prime only. So that's crazy. That's actually crazy. It will be streamed on Twitch, according to Glow. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if that's.
I've never been on Twitch.
Amazon is actually still trying to get the Manning
cross
cast,
that bridge
bro.
when I get to it.
Yeah,
it's just it's interesting. I just think it's interesting.
Next year.
But anyway, so this game comes and goes. The Chiefs have put themselves primarily in first place in the AFC West by 2 games now. Now with a game in hand against the Chargers, outside of their first loss, it's probably a wrap. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win the West here and potentially give the Patriots and anybody else a run for the number 1 seed. So I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know the rest of their schedule. I know the last week's probably a division game, probably either the Raiders or the Broncos, whatever the case may be. It's Denver. Yeah, so that's a win there. They'll probably win that division, which is fine. But anyway, as far as playoff seeding for the Chargers, now they have to be careful because now they're in the group of all those better teams at the 6 and the 7 seed. Remember, the 7 seed isn't as bad as it is in the NFC right now, where there's teams under 500 in that seed right now. So that's crazy.
I feel like they play a couple of those teams within their division. I think they have a game against Denver still. And I know that they have a game where they won against Cleveland. Did they win that game? Right? They beat Cleveland like 49-42 or something.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a big win over a team that's right there.
They beat
I think the
Cincinnati
Chargers are still in a pretty good spot even after that loss. And they have to be somewhat confident still because they took, they had the Chiefs on the brink.
Yeah.
It's a shame that Herbert didn't get a go.
I was just going to say, when do you think, because of that, do you think it never happens?
No, they already did what they were going to do. I can't see the NFL. No. The NFL is going to stay the way they are right now. I think it's fine. Look, you got to show some defense sometimes. It's about both just giving we were going to really do this just to give Herbert another chance.
Not just Herbert. It happens a lot.
Then
like the first team to get the ball, go down the field, and score a touchdown, game's over.
Who scores twice first then? What are we doing here?
Well, like I said, college does a thing where both teams get a possession, and if the defense stands up, the game's over. You know what I mean?
Or just stop somebody.
The craziest numbers about the college overtime versus NFL overtime, and I found this wild, that's why I'm sharing it, is because people, if you look at that, you think the college playoff is more fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the winner of the coin toss wins the game more often in college football than in the NFL.
Because what do they get to do? They choose to get the ball first.
Or second.
Look, if you stop somebody, if you lose the coin toss in the NFL and you stop them right away, it's like a field goal wins it then. So it almost has its advantages as well. If your defense is playing good. If your defense is playing good, of course. But when you got to go up against Mahomes, Kelsey, and Tyreek Hill in overtime, it's not easy.
And it wasn't like the college. These were the numbers as of last year. It was like the winner of the coin toss in college football overtime wins the game 53.9% of the time. So it does give you a slight advantage.
That's also still a coin flip.
And and the NFL was like 52.1.
Yeah,
so the idea that the NFL's overtime is unfair, the numbers don't really back that up. I agree. It seems unfair. I don't really like it.
It was unfair when all you had to do is get 2 first downs and kick a field goal. They fixed that. So let's just ride with this for a little bit. I'm okay with this for the rest of my life. I'm personally fine.
You know what? You bring up a good point, and I was going to save this for like a dead time or whatever, right? But you just said like, let's ride with this for a little while. Kyle, maybe you can attest to this because there is gambling aspects to this as well. NFL single season records. Are you like, where does the asterisk all like come out after 16 games?
No.
Because what if you break a single season record in the 17th game?
Because let's just realize this about football. They've made changes to scheduling in the past, and there's no
12, used to be 14. 12, I get 14, that, but it's been 16
asterisk
forever. It's
just what they do is they might end this era and be like, okay, the 16 game era, how they call it the Super Bowl era and things like that.
I guess
they might do that, but it's not baseball. And honestly, the records aren't as hallowed in football as they are in baseball. So I don't think it really matters. In 5 years, nobody's going to give a shit.
What about like all-time records? Like Emmett's got the rushing record, but now you're going to give, let's just say 5 years worth of one more game. So that's an extra 500, 600, 700 yards for a running back. You know what I mean? In 5, just based off of one game.
Based on, well, a couple of things. I agree with what you're saying. Yes, it is an added advantage, but then there's also a higher risk of getting injured for an extra game. And I know that this is splitting hairs, but the NFL just simply does not care about that. They care about money, and more games equals more money, more TV, more money. And really the records at the end of the day, that's for us to talk about and the fans to decide. And you're going to have a split down the middle on this regardless. But even that is good for the NFL because it sparks debate. We could talk about it all day. There's not going to be an asterisk, I don't think. And I don't think there should be.
Yeah. I mean, if Robert Bohannon, coming in saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, that's straight up.
With sports betting getting more and more popular, more and more people are using per game stats anyway, rather than the total numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in any event, we got some more football to go over. Let's go over a couple games, then we'll go to break, and then we'll finish up the NFL slate. We start with some Saturday football, which to me is like one of those things where you just like, you ask for gifts for Christmas. This is a gift for Christmas. You get an extra game. You get an extra game or two on Saturday, right? Starting with the Las Vegas Raiders, 6-7, going to Cleveland, the Dog Pound, 7-6 versus a depleted offense from the Browns. This line, the Raiders are favored. Is that correct, Gooch?
Yeah.
The Raiders are favored by 3.5 on the road.
Well, the Cleveland Browns don't have anybody. They would
got big.
They would get the
Nick Mullins at quarterback right now.
They would get their shit kicked in by Ohio State right now. That roster. I mean, there's a few teams in the NFL that might get beat up by Ohio State, but yeah, I can't handicap this game. Kyle, what'd you say the line opened
at Cleveland minus
six.
So that's
This is a 9.5
point
like
swing.
flip.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of weird movement as we go into this slate.
Before we go into the entire slate, I have to bring this up real quick. It brings us off screen. The standings are updated as of 14 weeks. Gooch with an 8-6 plug last week. I had 7-7, 500. Feel like Dallas Cowboys every time. Gooch got and secured your 100th win last week. And then last night we both picked the Chiefs. So we're getting another win. So you're 103-1 going into this week. And of course, I'm 97, 106-1. So 3 games behind you. I feel like this could be the week. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. This is the week I make it. Listen, maybe COVID is my friend. maybe COVID helps me here. Who are you going with, Gooch? I'm going to go with you first. We'll alternate that way because I want to make it at least fair. We'll pick our games on Saturday. But I mean, look, the spread is very weird. The Raiders are coming in with absolutely need to win this game to stay relevant in the playoff race. The Browns kind of need this game for them to stay relevant in the AFC North. So both teams with big stakes. I mean, the Saturday slate is absolutely ginormous, by the way. So where are you going with this one?
I think that Cleveland's probably in a better position now because Big Dick Nick is a better passer than Boohoo Baker. And the Raiders struggle stopping the run, and Cleveland's just going to be heavily committed to running the football this week, no matter who's back there. I think Kareem Hunt's probably out, right? But Dearness Johnson, I think, is good to go. And,
great story
and
there.
Nick Chubb is good to go. They're going to hand the ball off 60% of the snaps at least, and I look for Cleveland to probably cover because getting 3.5, I don't give a shit. The Raiders haven't shown me shit in the last month. I'm going with Cleveland in this one.
I would throw it to you, Kyle, as far as maybe a lean here, but this one's a very, very hard one to even talk about because of the fact that the line moves so much.
Right. For this one, there's a couple things I need to look into. With the line movement, I mean, my initial lean would be towards the Raiders laying the points, but there's so many things I have to look at here. With all these players out, I need to find out how many are eligible to come back with a negative test.
Right.
I also need to find out, okay, if they're out, like I need to look at all these backups, see how many snaps they've actually played. Like, are these veteran backups so there's way too much to look at. I'd say initial lean Raiders, but we'll see. I
want to piss all over this game. I'm not touching a
Now
thing
remember, everybody, one, bet responsibly. 2, www.kylekerms.com, where he's giving out his VIP slate. And I'm not saying giving out. There is a price to pay, but you know what? I just paid myself tenfold last night because of last night's hit. So I paid for basically the rest of 2022 in my monthly subscription.
And as far as handicappers go, a price to pay. It's a very small price to pay.
It is, absolutely.
Where you look
make that
back
in a day.
Yes.
Maybe less than a day. You can make that back in the bowl game at 12 o'clock. But I'm going to go with the Browns here, plus 3.5 at home. Reason being, Nick Mullins ain't no schlub. Like I like Nick Mullins, right? But here's my biggest X factor of this game. Derek Carr dropping back to pass, and Myles Garrett, who's probably, if it's not Micah Parsons, which obviously I want it to be Micah Parsons, if it ain't Micah Parsons, it's going to be Myles Garrett. The guy can wreck a game. Give me the Cleveland defense to show up a little bit here today or here on Saturday. Give me the Browns in this one. I'm riding with you.
Another interesting note is that isn't it the Raiders that Big Dick Nick came in and grew 2 or 3 inches against in his first start?
34-3, he beat him.
In his career debut.
Sucked that bitch
on
into
a Thursday
sock.
night. So,
so Nick was born on that day. But yeah, so moving on. Probably one of the games of the week, I think. I'll start with this one, but it is the New England Patriots 9-4 going to Indy. to face the 7-6 Colts. The Colts obviously have shown a lot of something over the last couple of weeks with their running game, and Carson Wentz isn't completely sucking ass. You know what I mean? So he's not bad anymore. I mean, I'm still waiting for him to throw his shoulder out or break a pinky or something.
This game to me is the contest to see who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC.
All right. Well, the line is -2. The Colts are home in this one. I'm going to start with this one. I know we've been riding, the Patriots a little too hard all year long. Now that kind of stops because now we want to see them, fall flat on their face. I'm going to take the Colts here at home, laying the 2, because I feel like the running game is that much better. The Patriots obviously showed you that they can run the football in that debacle of a game against Buffalo. But I think that the Colts make enough plays against Mac Jones to keep this game theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like the Colts might get off to a lead and just with a great running game. That's how you build, that's how you win games. If you get a lead and you have a good running game, that is the recipe to success all the time. Give me the Colts on this one. I again, this might be a very, very big pick for you, Kyle. So I know not to give it away or anything like that, but as far as where you're leaning.
I'm leaning Colts too. There's a couple things that concern me though. So I decided I was betting the Colts in this game last week.
Me too.
When actually, I think I might have decided that 2 weeks ago when I saw that dog shit weather game with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of sharps hit the Patriots early when this line was at like 4.5 or 5, and it dropped down to 2.5, and the action has swung back towards the Colts, and the line's just sitting there at 2.5, and it makes me a little worried that doesn't look like the books are trying to sell any Patriots +3 tickets, and if that's the way they feel, that scares me a little bit. But just on a football aspect, I definitely am leaning towards the Colts here.
Just looking at the matchups for me, the Patriots, if they do struggle against anything, it's against the run, and the Colts are the best in the league. I would say against running the football, people want to talk about Baltimore. That's not traditional running attack. The Colts have the best traditional rush attack in the game right now, or the Patriots, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Right.
The Patriots don't really throw the ball well. They don't have much threats on the outside, and that's the Colts' weakness on defense. I'm taking the home team because they both they do the same things well offensively. I'll just go with the experience on the Colts side. As much as it's shitty to go with Carson Wentz experience, I'm still going to go with the Carson Wentz experience in this.
I like it. Now we'll pick 2 games before we go to break, and it's obviously the home games for me and Gooch, not the Giants and the Jets. It just so happens that the Giants are in one of these games, but we start with a 4:25 late slate. The Green Bay Packers are visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Now, all signs point to Lamar Jackson kind of sort of playing, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird. They've kept it close to the vest. We lost Kyle. It's okay. We lost.
We still got your audio.
Huh?
We still have his audio.
Yeah, no, we got his audio. But anyway, so with the Packers in this case, they're going on the road. It's a -5.5. They're literally like I don't know, man. It's for me. It's just I don't know. It's so weird. I'm going to give this one to you first, Gooch. This is your game. But yeah, so yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, guys, what do you think? I think
think that you haven't picked against the Packers all year, and I think that the Packers are 11-2 against the spread.
11-2 against the spread has been treating me fairly well. I've won a lot of money on Green Bay this year. People say don't bet on your team, but when your team is the best team in the league, then you bet on them. Now, honestly, there's one thing that scares me about this game, and it's one of those things about all football games that you really can't factor in, but in this one you actually can, because the Packers have been so bad on special teams, typically against covering kicks, and the Ravens are probably the best return game in football.
So you think field position might be a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they're going to house ball.
I'm just saying, like, the Packers have not been able to field a punt, and they've not been able to cover a punt or a kick at all this season. The Ravens do that well. The Ravens obviously have Justin Tucker. We have Mason Crosby. That's where I see the Ravens have a chance to make things interesting in this game, field position-wise. But we're getting some guys back. I think Jair Alexander's playing. I don't think Bakhtiari is going to come back yet, or Zadarius, but getting the cornerback to an already really good secondary, I think that's going to help a lot. It's going to pretty much eliminate any chance of them throwing the football against us. And the Packers have been pretty good against the run when Devondre Campbell's playing, so he's playing.
I got this feeling that Kyle is just totally fading you on this one.
He's going to do this for the
Kyle?
for the clout.
No, it's not clout. He might have a point or two. I mean, he knows what he's talking about,
I've faded the Ravens a lot this year, and I've done well on it. But about 2 weeks ago, I decided it's time for one of the Lamar Jackson freak show games. And I bet the Ravens last week, and we hit with the luckiest backdoor cover of all time.
And that wasn't even Lamar Jackson.
That wasn't even Lamar Jackson. So as long as he's playing, I'm taking the Ravens. It's been too long. And one thing about Lamar Jackson is he's like a no bullshit kind of guy. So like he hears the criticism and he's hearing all this, and he's not the type like go on social media and freak out. He's the type to bring it out on the field and make his statement that way. And I think he will. And I think if Lamar Jackson plays that, they could actually beat him. It's one of those freak show games where he's doing shit that isn't even fair.
I did say to my father, I said, if anybody's betting the Ravens, they should just take the money line in this one.
The way I see this playing out is that personally on a fanhood, I need the Packers to lose, right? I just need the Packers to lose this game. However,
Razul's going to pick Lamar off.
Yeah, I have just is Lamar at 8-5, right? I mean, he's a winning record. If he plays, great. If he doesn't, forget about it. Like you can't go blow for blow with Aaron Rodgers in that offense. You just can't. And it feels like AJ Dillon's getting better as the weeks go on, and that means as he gets more touches, that means Aaron Jones rests a little bit and he's getting healthier. It's just it's a recipe for disaster. If it ain't the Cowboys, like for my own fanhood, the Packers are going to the Super Bowl this year, dude. And I'm going to say that right now. And like as shitty as that feels to say, like if it ain't the Cowboys could pick them off. I think a good defense could pick this team off. But right now, the Packers are just playing all world. And I just, I don't care who the quarterback is.
I did not compare. I made the comparison to highlight how much better their special teams is than ours. That's all I did.
That's all I did.
Come on.
But anyway, I'm going to go ride the Packers here with 5.5. I think they let this one get away. I think there's a little too much. Even if Lamar Jackson plays, I'm still not a fan of his throwing the football. I think there's too many mistakes to be had, too many mistakes on the field. And then if there's anybody in the league that makes you pay for mistakes, it's Aaron Rodgers.
And Lamar Jackson's ankle is bad.
Right. So even if he plays, he's still.
So I just want to add on to the fact 97% of the money is on Green Bay. 97.
Yikes. All right. So that means the toast is right in the Ravens, baby.
Where's Toast? Is he awake?
I don't even know. I'm not sure if the Toast is awake here. But we move it on to the game that's going down in New Jersey this week. I will be in attendance. More than likely not sober. The Cowboys visit the Giants.
Dave just gave my team glowing reviews. I get to trash his next.
You can trash them all you want.
I'm not going to trash
the
them.
Cowboys are coming in 9-4, winners of 2 straight. I don't know.
Yeah, the graphics
wrong. The graphics wrong there. Should say the Giants minus the Cowboys minus 10.5. But I guess, hey, listen, if you're going to compare anybody to anybody, sure, I'll take that. Yeah, it's all good. So the Cowboys are favored 10.5 over the New York Football Giants. Now the Giants have been playing some piss poor football lately, but this line scares the crap out of me. I don't like when things are like this. I don't like when the Cowboys come in like there's a difference. When the Packers are favored, you're like, it's because they should be, right? When the Cowboys are favored, I'm like, no, hold on. Everybody, let's pump the brakes. We saw what happened last week, right? We saw what happened with Dak Prescott playing piss poor. His decision-making was bad. His throws were off. Had he played halfway of his potential, they could have won that game by 40, right? But they didn't. He played like garbage, and they barely made it out of Landover with a win, right? I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to lose this game.
Where's the money going in this one?
Yeah, go check that out.
It's all over Dallas.
Before my pick, I would love to hear that because it scares the crap out of me. Look,
we know who you're picking.
The Cowboys are going to win the game.
Like as if he's waiting to hear what if the money is all on Dallas. Are you going to take the Giants?
No. I'm just saying the Cowboys are going to win the game. The line scares me. I'm going to ride with the Cowboys minus 10.5. I hate it.
You would never
hate it.
I hate
this shit line, and I think it's closer than people think. Mike Glennon, I don't give a shit who the quarterback is with the Giants. This game's going to be close to the end. It's going to make my heart just race. I don't know. Sauce, did you find out?
Yeah, it's 86%, and it's still climbing. It was 56% on Wednesday morning.
86%.
So if you like Dallas, probably take the 10.5.
No, but that's the scary part of that. It's been 10.5 for 4 days.
Yeah, hasn't bunched. All right, so Kyle, do you? I'm not saying pick the game, but I'm saying, do you think there's any reason for me to doubt the Cowboys on covering this number? Any reason at all?
Yeah, several. Well, actually, the best one is Dak Prescott hasn't played well in a month. I don't know how
more than that. He hasn't played well since New England.
Yeah, for real.
I can't even count the Falcons game. It feels like an anomaly to me. But go ahead.
That's the reason. It's 10.5 points with a quarterback that hasn't been good. And obviously a division game on the road laying that many points. I would be. There's almost no chance that I bet Dallas in this game. I mean, I might not bet the Giants.
Can I give you one reason why I might? Now, hearing this analysis is that because you said all the money's going on Dallas and it still hasn't moved, they're trying to get you to keep betting Dallas, don't you think?
Yeah, that's why I would bet the Giants.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I'm taking the Giants.
He's fading the public.
Yeah.
So Gooch, I mean, you see the number. I mean, you're going to be that guy probably. So where are you going with this one?
I'm not going to talk shit about the Cowboys. I just don't like the 10.5 at home. That's really what it comes down to for me. We could talk about all the analytics of this one. 10.5 points in a division game at home or on the road in Dallas's case.
Do you like
a hard
that
cover.
spread in any? Let's just think about this NFL, 32 teams, like 8 divisions. Do you like a 10.5 home dog in any divisional matchup across the league?
Yeah, there's certain teams that are just so
Tampa
bad
Bay.
that are so bad.
I mean, but against who?
Well, you mean like if they're on the
Against
road?
again on the road.
On the road,
Against a division opponent. Why would the home team be
like if
dogs
the
by
Packers
10
are
and a
going to
half?
Detroit, I'm laying 14.5.
Well, that's all right. That's one, but that's one is what I'm saying. Like you find it very hard pressed.
Wait, didn't the Lions cover against the Packers in Detroit when it was like 11.5? Like week 2 or 3?
I didn't say. Put it this way. I didn't say I was going to win that bet. I said I'm laying it.
No, but I'm saying like it's very for your point of saying like division game, home dog.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's like
if I'm not a Cowboys fan,
for
I'm
the
picking
reason
the
is like
Giants.
could we pick one? I have no idea. But since it's like the chances are that if you look at most of these lines, I'm sure that the toast has it in the back of his head right now. He'd be able to tell you exactly what the number is. But I would imagine that home team getting 10 or more in a division game is probably good against the spread. That's just my guess.
The Lions had the ball for a backdoor cover on the Green Bay 30 and turned it over with a minute left.
Big third coming in saying Giants lose by 7. So that's somebody coming in there.
And the Lions
Crazy
crazy
pellet coming in saying fade the public. And the Packers covered, according to AJ. I guess he's got that. So maybe the Packers covered that Lions spread. But anyway, in any event, Gooch is going with the Giants because of the dangerous plus.
That was the first time Kyle was disappointed to hear that he won a bet, because apparently AJ is saying that Kyle had the Packers in that game. And he's right now, when he was looking, he was hoping. There's no question about it in my mind. He was hoping to God that Detroit covered.
All right, let's take a break. We want to thank you guys for hanging with us right now on the Chop Sports Daily right here on our YouTube channel, on Facebook.
Subscribe on the break.
During the break, you're going to hit subscribe. You're going to do that for me, because if we see the subscribe count go up, Kyle's going to give a free bet eventually in 2022 at some point.
Every day.
He does give free bets every day. So in any event, go hit subscribe during the break as we get a word from Absolute Eyewear. You know, myself and Gooch are both getting a little older. One of the first things to go is your vision. Thank goodness for our hookup over at Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street next to the train station. They have glasses for all ages, all budgets. They have safety glasses, sports glasses. They are a full-service powerhouse offering eye exams and even free lenses for the kids. They work with BCBS, AAA, AARP, giving massive discounts. They're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Call 732-326-3937 to get your first pair of Ray-Ban, Burberry, Coach, Polo, you name it, they got it. Go see Craig and Johnine right now. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you again for all of our advertisers in 2021. It has been one heck of a year for Chop Sports. We keep growing every day. The YouTube channel is doing some decent numbers the last couple of days. We want to thank you guys for subscribing, and of course, for the sauce, waving his wand and telling everybody to follow us. But anyway, so we have another game which has serious implications. The reason why I say this is because the Seattle Seahawks right now, if what Gooch said over the weekend, not over the weekend, over this week, Gooch said that 9-8 in the NFC will get into the playoffs, right? So that means Seattle and Mr. Unlimited, Mr. Russell Wilson himself, has to win out in order for them to be in the conversation at the end of the year. Now, I know you laugh because it's been one heck of a year for those guys. But anyway, the Rams are home, 3.5 favorites. This spread is super low to me. If everybody's starting to believe in what the Rams can do, obviously, they saw what they did last week on Monday night. We saw what they took care of the Cardinals. The Cardinals are frauds, according to the Sauce and AJ and everybody over there at the Sauce Network. But this game scares me to have that much confidence in a Rams team against a Seattle team who are absolutely desperate. But I'm going to throw this one to Gooch first, and I'm going to see where he's at. Because
I think what you said has some merit. The Seahawks are that team right now. Whether they're going to make the playoffs or not, they have Russell Wilson, and they are determined to not have a shithole season as bad as it's been this year. They could still salvage it and have some momentum going into next year, or at least going into the offseason. Obviously, a Russell Wilson quarterback team. They have Lockett, who finally got going again last week. Metcalf has been shitty this year, but he's still got the talent.
So
their running game has
Ramsey on
really
one of
been
them,
absent.
and then we'll see.
They haven't had their identity because they haven't been able to run the football that well this year, and Pete Carroll loves to run the football. So Russell Wilson's been injured. I think, honestly, he's starting to get back. Right now, everybody's really high on the Rams. And this is the first time where I'm actually seeing them not get the love from the books that they've been. I think that everyone is going to jump on the Rams this week. That means everyone except me, because I'm definitely taking Seattle. I'll probably bet Seattle. This is the line that, as you said it clicked. I don't like the Rams this week because they should be given 6.5 to a 5-8 Seahawks team.
Correct. Exactly. Kyle, anything on this one?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Check this out. That's why I was looking through just now, see if I can find any breaking news on Tuesday. The line was 6.5. Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Tuesday night at 9 p.m. it had dropped 2 points to 4.5. So I'm trying to figure out what happened on Tuesday.
Any COVID things
Von
for the
Miller?
Rams?
I mean,
Von Miller's got
Donald's
COVID.
limited practice, but that's most likely a probable, not a questionable.
Who was that?
Aaron Donald.
Okay, he's gonna play.
I mean, Von Miller went out. Yeah, they did get hit with COVID, but like the names that I'm seeing here are.
Is Beckham still out? He had COVID?
No, he is not. Yes, he is. But
Okay,
he's been on the list for a while, and with the new protocols, I would imagine he still has a chance.
To play, right?
Rams have 22 COVID cases.
Yeah, they're getting smoked with COVID right now.
I don't.
But that could be coaching. That could be it's.
Right. It
How many
doesn't
of those
necessarily
are
have to mean
impact players?
22 starters. You know what I mean? Like it could be Joe Schmo, who's the backup third
So
left tackle.
that just strengthens everything I just said. Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks, and if they have 22 COVID cases, I'm going to.
These are ruled out now. Beckham out, Ramsey out, according to Scuba Loop. So that's another reason for me. I'm riding with you, bro. I should have just made the pick myself because I was basically telling the world what I thought about the Seahawks right now. Desperation, COVID-riddled team over there in LA. And for the Cowboys' sake, I want the Seahawks to win this game. I would like the Rams to start going through a little bit of a hard time. So give me the Seahawks. I'm with you on this one, Gooch. Moving on to whatever's next. Tampa Bay, another division game. This is a big spread, but Tampa Bay's home. I find it hard pressed. I'll just straight up say it. Tampa Bay, 10.5.
Tampa.
Give me that.
I'm taking Tampa at home. First quarter, first half, team total over every week until I lose money on it.
Yeah. I mean, look, to be honest with you, we watched the Saints go marching into MetLife last night, pun intended, and they just beat the brakes off a bad Jets team, right? So they're coming off that game. They're also having a 6-7 record. They're in that 6-7 range with everybody else in the 6-7 range. But this is where they just kind of get eliminated. I think the season's over. This is the game that I said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to slip up. Maybe even I think they played the Saints. Did they play the Saints already?
They played them. The last time the Saints looked good actually was when I think Jameis got hurt against Tampa.
And
Trevor Siemian came in
and he finished the job.
Well,
right.
hold on. There's something to that because the Saints have been missing both of their offensive tackles since then. Both of them may return this week. Both their two best offensive linemen, both their tackles. Also, Davenport, their pass rusher, may return this week. The Saints have been.
Is there any chance that Jameis Winston's going to be able to return this week?
No.
Because if he ain't going to return, I'm just not
ACLs
buying
kind of
it.
lasts a little longer than that, or whatever the hell he did.
There is some merit to it.
I'm just saying, the Saints started looking awful when Jameis Winston got hurt. Right, their whole so many important pieces got hurt at the same time, and several of them are returning.
I just have a hard time when I look at the matchup. Tampa Bay is so good against the run, and what is the Saints going to actually do?
Like
They're not going to be able to keep up, regardless of what you want to say. What are the Saints going to be able to do on defense?
Yeah,
what are they going to be able to do on offense?
The Saints defense for 2 years, last year and this year, has been vulnerable to passes 20 yards or deeper. Obviously, Tom Brady's licking his chops at that. And that's what the Bucs defense is also vulnerable against, is teams throwing the ball downfield. So are the Saints, do they even have the tools to do that?
That's what I'm saying.
They don't Taysom Hill can't throw the ball down the field.
I would say by default, I have to lean towards Tampa Bay, but I hate it. I want to go sharp and take the Saints. I might even end up doing that.
Well, you can only find out on KyleKerms.com.
Sunday morning.
That one will be on YouTube.
Oh, that one will be on YouTube.
When the ticket comes out and he does exactly what I said, it's going to be Tom Brady, team total over, first quarter, first half.
Go to Tampa Bay at home, team total over, game over, Bucs to win first half.
Yeah, another NFC South team, the Atlanta Falcons, going on the road. Big spread here for the 49ers, who are hosting this game. They're 7-6. They're 8.5. When's the last time you saw? I thought 8 was like an uncommon number to see, like 8.5. That seems
it's
like
not uncommon. It's just an uncommon frequent, uncommon margin of victory 8.
Yeah.
So to drop from 8.5 to 7.5 wouldn't be the craziest movement. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Looking at this game on the surface, I would have to say that the San Francisco 49ers are playing way better football. I think Eli Mitchell comes back this week. I'm not sure. I actually hope for fantasy standpoint. The Falcons, to me, their only weapons are, Cordell Patterson and maybe a decent game out of Pitts. I don't know. Overall, I like the Niners here. The Niners are rolling. The Niners trying to get to the playoffs, and then they're trying to get that 5th seed. They're not even just trying to sit and be complacent with 6 or 7. I think the Niners have the tools to go long in the playoff race. Give me the Niners here. I know it's a big number, and I know it's the Falcons, but give me the Niners to win this game big because Kittle's coming on. I think this offense is just rolling now.
This right here shows you how weird this NFL season's been, that the thought when you think about the 49ers, you think about like a possible contender, really not quite there, but definitely like a legitimate playoff contender.
Yeah.
Right. And then you look at the Falcons and you're like, wow, they're probably the worst team in football. They're 32nd in defense.
They have like the same record.
And they're 6-7 and 7-6. It's
a
crazy.
Product of your schedule too.
Yes. Well, definitely a product of the schedule, but the NFL through 14, 15 weeks, it kind of fixes itself. And really the Falcons are 6-7. To me, that's crazy. I just don't see how they came up with 6 wins with all they've dealt with. Ridley, Matt Ryan's 91, you name it.
Years old, that is.
Yeah, they're struggling over there. And the main thing I like about this game is that Shanahan gets to go and beat up on his old team. And I think that there's going to be a little bit of that going on here where they're going to really they're going to run the football.
Shanahan run the football? Go on.
Well, you get what I'm saying, right?
No, I get
there's going to be those long drives where they have 20 plays and average 3 yards a carry and they end up kicking a field goal, but they're going to do that like 6 times, right? And George Kittle is finally playing well, healthy. Deebo Samuel is actually
He's something else, bro.
He's probably my favorite receiver to watch in football.
He's not even like a receiver.
The way he plays,
he's like another Cordell Patterson.
He's like Steve Smith Sr., but actually big. It's like what he would be.
He's a bitch. I hate him.
No, he definitely wasn't a bitch.
I don't like him at all.
Just the style of play. Deebo is a bully out there. I love watching him play football. That's a fun team to watch when they get going. If you can't tell, the style of football that I really like is when they just run the shit out of
Crazy
football.
Paulette coming in. Arthur Smith and Dean Pease. I don't know what that has
that's
to.
the coach.
I know Arthur Smith is the coach. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe the coaching is just doesn't favor them.
But
at all.
I'm going with the 49ers here.
You like this spread there, Kyle?
Well, actually, it's up to 9.5 now.
Wow. Well, we're just so you know, people. Me and Gooch pick today. The lines will more than likely move tomorrow, and more than likely even move on Sunday. Who knows? But these are what we're at. But if you're telling me it's 9.5, that means that the people are starting to speak that the Niners will probably run away with this game.
Exactly. Earlier in the week, it was at 8.5, and San Francisco got hammered by the public and the sharps, 96% of the money. And then it moved to 9. Everyone was still hammering San Francisco. Then it moved up to 9.5. And now there's actually, it's only up to 20%, but it was at 3. There's actually some Atlanta Falcons bettors coming in and betting the Falcons at 9.5. So it looks like the books are fishing for Atlanta money, and they're getting it. They're reeling that money in.
Yeah.
Definitely leaning San Francisco without a doubt. Could be a nasty blowout.
All right, we'll see. All right, moving on. This is a very, very, very big game for both of these teams. They both are going to have to solidify themselves in this wild card race. This game's great. The Broncos are home. They're taking on the Bengals. Both teams coming in 7-6. The Broncos obviously laying the 3 because they're home. This is basically a pick 'em in a neutral site is what I'm saying, because that's how close this game is. To me, the Broncos running game is very special right now. But Joe Burrow has lost 2 games in a row. So there's a lot of intangibles here. But I think based off of the defense that has stepped up lately, and I'm talking about Denver, and their running style, and they're running the football very well within the last couple of weeks, basically all season, to be honest with you. Javonte Williams a little banged up. Melvin Gordon a little banged up. I get that. And the Bengals run defense, they stiffen up. I don't like Burrow on the road here. I don't know why. I'm gonna go with the Broncos -3.
I would be fake if I did anything besides pick the Broncos. So I'm gonna pick the Broncos. I've been talking really good about them. It doesn't match up with them against Cincinnati as far as style goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I just say, man, Vic Fangio is committed to the run more than any coach outside of maybe Kyle Shanahan in the NFL.
Right.
And it's just going to be a lot of running the football. I don't think that Cincinnati could stop that running game. As much as they've been good against the run, they haven't dealt with this version of the run game, a 2-headed monster. These guys are banged up, but they're probably both going to play. And, Javonte Williams is probably my favorite rookie in the league this year. I'm going with Denver because I've been riding them all year, and their offense gives me an erection.
Kyle. Okay. All right. Kyle, I'm sure we can talk about something else other than erections. But
let's move off of erections. Bengals +3, possible bet of the week. Love it.
Oh, wow. All
Bengals
right.
+3, definitely.
Wow. All right.
Bengals stock
Bet of the week. I'm fading that.
You're fading that now, but on Sunday morning when he puts his bets in,
So I'm definitely taking
9
the
times
Bengals.
out of 10, Gooch is riding with the Bengals
Fading
here.
myself is what I
It's
meant.
just their stock is at such an all-time low, coming off 2 horrible losses. And Denver is the complete opposite. Like, they had a home game against Detroit. Congrats. Like, nice win. They have been playing pretty good football for 3 straight weeks. The Denver stock is up here right now. It always comes down, and the Bengals stock is way down here. Buy low and sell high.
Right.
I think it's a gift that I'm getting 3 here. I think they win the game straight up.
Now it's a stock market game. So, all right.
Yeah,
So
I switched
we'll
my pick. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you switching it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's the second time that I've done that.
It's
live
only
on the
Friday,
show.
so I can't guarantee that will be the bet of the day.
No,
but
but we
Cincinnati.
had a lot of conversations about what's going on with Denver prior
Yes,
to recording. So
Oh, okay, cool. A little pre-production meeting without me, huh?
Yeah, it was
Right before I got
right
there.
before
Yeah,
you got
sorry. Extra sets at the gym, bro. Sorry, bro. Anyway, moving on to a game that nobody actually gives an ounce of a shit about, other than the fact that the Jaguars are playing their game and Trevor Lawrence jersey is being rocked here at the studio by the Sauce himself.
Is that line right?
I mean, there's just nobody
No.
gives an ounce of a shit. I mean, this is just bad football altogether.
The Jaguars are given 4.5.
Okay, well, I don't care what the Jaguars are
Doesn't
giving.
matter.
They're winning this game without Urban Meyer. They're winning this game at home in Jacksonville. That's what's going to happen. That if I had my own website, my own betting website, this is my bet of the day. The Jaguars win this game outright. They play inspired football despite the fact that they just got rid of the dumpster fire known as Urban Meyer. Gooch.
But do they cover 4.5
Yeah,
points?
they're not. They're not going to cover 4.5.
Okay.
They will probably win, maybe, but no, I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I'm giving you a shot, Dave.
Give me a
This
shot.
is your shot.
This is my shot. A little redemption here. Here we go. I'll take it. Jaguar fans unite. I'm with you guys. I got your back. Yep. And that's Scoop Blue coming in. The Jaguar fan, the resident Jaguar, going to get together and get it for the win for sure. Represent. You got it, Scoop. Here we go. Jags win by 17.
Get the
Scoop's
fuck
coming.
out of here.
Scoop's coming in hot. All right. Moving on. Another must-have game for both of these teams. Let's call it how it is. If the Colts go out there on Saturday and beat New England, right? The Titans' pressure will be through the roof to get this game won in Pittsburgh. To me, Pittsburgh being home dogs, the way they're playing football right now, give me the Steelers all day. I like the Steelers here. I like the money line here. Give me the Steelers minus the plus the 1, even though I think a 1-point spread is kind of I don't know. How do you feel about 1-point spreads? Aren't they just dumb?
It's basically like a minus 115 money line.
Yeah,
It's right. I mean, it's
and
just
one here gets weirder. Actually, the line has dropped down to +0.5 for the Steelers. Steelers +0.5 right now.
right. So it's not even. It's a pick 'em to me. I mean,
it's
a
a pick 'em with a lean in case of a tie.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the Steelers all day. Give me the Steelers. They've been playing good football lately. And I think they get it done. I think they get it done against the Titans. And the Titans now, the stress will be up. I think there's going to be 2 teams that are battling for the AFC North at the end. I mean, it's just the way I see it. And I think they're only going to be up a game after this. Gooch, how do you feel about this one?
I'm taking the home team getting the point. Pittsburgh's desperate. And as much as you're saying that Tennessee really needs the game, because what happens with the Colts, really, essentially, they have a 3-game lead on the Colts because they did beat them twice. So I don't think the division's in jeopardy whatsoever with Tennessee. All they basically have to do is win 1 more game, correct? Or 2 more games. I think they're going to be able to do that. If you look at their schedule, they play some shit teams.
Crazy Paulette coming in. Titans defense greater than Big Ben. I don't know about that.
The guy loves the Titans.
I don't know.
I'm going to take I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this one.
Yeah, I don't foresee. If anything, I think the secondary of the Titans are very susceptible to the big play, and I think Deontay Johnson can have himself a day. To be honest with you, if we're really calling it, and then Najee Harris every week, the guy gets better.
It depends on what Titans defense shows up. Sometimes they play real physical up front, and sometimes they just haven't looked great. I like their coach. I think he's a better coach than Tomlin, even though Tomlin's been in Pittsburgh for seems like 30 years now. But I'm still going to take the home team in this one. Pittsburgh's desperate. I really do like the under too.
All right, take the under.
I'm
going back.
I'm on Steelers also. I will say though, Titans are 9-4, right? Obviously, they're banged up, not playing the same football they were earlier in the year. But because of what's going on at the top of the AFC, they still have a Houston game remaining and a Dolphins game remaining. So if they steal this one, they could finish the season right up there with 12-5. So as much as we're saying like, oh, they got this division, how bad do they need it?
They need it for other reasons. I agree with that as well.
They have a very easy schedule to finish the season, so they could come out motivated. That being said, definitely leading Pittsburgh.
All right. With that being said, Jesus Christ. I mean, this is just not fair. But again, with the Chiefs line, bro, you want to change any of these teams over from the Chiefs there, Gooch? It says Chiefs minus 12 and a half. So I'm assuming the Cardinals are favored by 12 and a half. I ask a lot of you, man. So don't even stress it. I'm kidding. Obviously, he's like sitting here like, son of a bitch, I did it again. But the Cardinals,
the last 30 minutes of like the 10:30 to 11 o'clock is always crunch time for me. And then when we start to have conversation, it's over.
It's lost.
I'm looking up. And
you need to put on headphones, or I just need to shut up for the last 30 minutes. But for this game in particular, the spread is high. But the Cardinals coming in, no DeAndre Hopkins. I guess that's different. But the Lions are home. Oh God, I mean the Lions are 8-5 against the spread, man. I know their record shows shit, but like these guys have a chance to play.
They've been a cover machine all year. That's over. The Lions are done.
Okay. Well,
I know that everybody's not really high on Arizona right now, but they're still a 10-win team with crazy speed on the defensive side of the ball. The Lions, what are they really able to do? Josh Reynolds, is he scaring you? Is Jared Goff, besides Kyle? I haven't heard anybody talk good about Jared Goff in the last 10 years. So I'm not taking the Lions in any games this year going forward. So you could just book that right away.
As much as I like the Lions here as a feel-good story, and I need the Lions to win this game and you need the Lions to win technically too. I mean, yes, you control your own by just winning out, but if the Cardinals for whatever reason were to drop a game or so, I mean, then it makes things life easier for Cowboys and Packers fans. But the feel good story is kind of over. I think this one's
when has it ever been a feel good story in Detroit?
I don't know, man. I'm just
trying to 1-11-1.
Gather the Detroit fans. I'm trying to get them together. I don't know, man. Forget it. They're not going to win
Arizona.
This game. Arizona's going to crush this game.
Cardinals on one short day's rest.
God, he's just searching here.
The Lions coming off the worst game of the season.
Is that a short joke about Kyler Murray, bro?
No, I mean, he's been playing like shit. It's been 2 months.
That's not a short joke. That's just facts. So that's that.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit. Hell yeah, they could win.
All right. I love it.
It won't be a lot. There'll be a half unit.
Big NFC. Crazy Pal saying Campbell wants kneecaps, and Kyle is fading the Cardinals. That's coming from Big Third. No doubt. All right. Well, moving on. NFC East. Implications for the Dallas Cowboys here. If the Cowboys get the job done against the Giants and the Washington football team lose this game, the Cowboys will win the NFC East. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Eagles because now the Washington football team have been riddled by COVID and their defensive line is shit. And they played a decent game, a game that the Cowboys kept them in it based off of Dak Prescott's decisions. Here's my only thing. Okay. Jalen Hurts being out lets me even, he's not out yet, but even if he is out, it is my guy, Gardner Minshew. He's getting his game. He's going to win this game. He's going to cover that number.
Who's going to start for Washington? Because Heineke might be out too.
Kyle
Allen, which gives me all the reason to pick the Philadelphia Eagles at home to win this for Dallas. Because I think if Dallas gets the job done, the Eagles can as well. Gooch,
there's no way I'm laying 10 in this game.
Okay, then don't.
It's that simple.
Then don't.
The Philly's going to win. Philly's going to win, but I'm taking Washington because they've been playing really good. Even they had a bad half in the last six games. They played shitty in the first half against Dallas, but they really kind of played well in the second half. I know that was a lot of Dallas mistakes happening there, but they have some fight in this team, and the playoffs are on the line. This is the biggest game of their season. Every game is going to be their biggest game going forward as long as they can
for both
win.
Teams.
But for both teams, I agree. But a division game, 10 points. They're both 6-7. What about Philly shows you they deserve to be giving 10 points to anybody in any situation.
Gardner Minshew. That's
maybe COVID variant or Omicron variant might be the only two words that you can say.
Omicron. Now we're even changing names of things. That's cool.
Isn't that what it is?
I think it's Omicron.
I thought it was Omicron too.
All right,
but actually,
you know what variant is? Nobody gives a shit variant. How about that? Nobody cares.
Yo, by the way, crazy line movement in this game. When I woke up this morning, it was 9.5. When we were talking earlier, 10.5. It's now at 12. In the last hour, it has moved up to 12. I'm assuming with the Heineke break.
Heineke's got to be out.
Is Heineke worth 2 points, or is everyone else got COVID? There's got to be something else that happened.
Oh, and by the way, the Washington football team as a whole are a complete dumpster fire of an organization. Snyder is he's back in the news again.
What is the over-under now?
40.5 under.
So it's moving down as the other one moves up?
Yeah.
What is that about? Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Anyway. Yeah, that is a little odd.
I mean, it's clear that the books are seeing a 24-0 Eagles win.
So yeah, that has everything to do with the Washington offense. If you're looking at the line movement,
Still sticking with Washington?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Moving on. Another big. I'm just kidding. It's the Jets and it's at Miami. The Chiefs of Miami. Oh man,
that is so good.
My top 7 picks this week: Chiefs.
Chiefs. But anyway, the Dolphins are favored by 9.5 if you're watching the show on TV on your device. But if you're listening to it, you're fine.
None of these are clippable, by the way. So anytime, because honestly, you can't use a 1-minute segment of a wrong graphic. It just won't work.
I can fix it in Premiere.
Oh, look at that. Huh? See, look at this guy fixing everything. So anyway, 9.5, the number. Listen, I've been burnt by the Jets maybe 7 or 8 times this year. And I keep saying, like, you know what it is? I feel bad for their fan base. I feel bad for the guys that are like rooting, rah, go Jets. We're going to really turn this thing around, blah, blah, blah. This is Tua. And I understand that Waddle's now out, I believe, with COVID. So his big threat would have to be Devonta Parker and then possibly a little, I even think Myles Gaskins is out with COVID. Give me a big Gesicki weekend. I don't know. I'm just not riding with you anymore, Jets. I'm sorry. And the Jets fans can just suck it because I'm tired of it. I'm actually tired of the Jets. Give me the Dolphins -9.5. Gooch.
Jets.
With that being said, the Jets. All right, so you're taking the Jets.
Yeah, I'm not going to break this game down. Jalen Waddle's out. It's another thing here. The Chiefs.
I'm just so tired of it, man. I'm just so
Chiefs
tired of
9.5 in the game they're not playing.
Devontae Parker is back in the lineup though.
Yes. All day.
So Jets.
Final game. Jets. Where's the Monday night game? I know you didn't put it up, but who is the the Bears and the Vikings. Okay, we'll talk about that on Monday. Final game of our slate here. The Buffalo Bills, who have been kind of reeling a little bit here and there. They're 7-6. They're hosting the Carolina Panthers. And if the Panthers on any shot of any kind of playoff berth, which I don't think it's there, the number is 11. This is a big number for me, but I'm hard-pressed to think that the Bills can't get right here. The Panthers' defense is good, right? That's the strong point of this team. You know who actually stinks, though, and sucks, is Cam Newton.
I'm betting against Cam the rest of the way.
Yeah, I said the same thing. But
wait, hold on.
If there's bad weather in Buffalo on Monday night.
No, it's not Sunday night. This is Sunday, yeah. This ain't Sunday night either.
I look, and it looks like it's supposed to be 10-mile-an-hour winds, just cold and a little windy, nothing terrible. So I guess you have to bet Buffalo. But bad weather, and it turns into like a battle of defense and running game, that might make me take 11 points. And hopefully Cam misses his flight.
That's the only way. The only way the Panthers play well is if Cam Newton just doesn't show up. Like he just for whatever reason his bus went one way, the team bus went the other way. I'm taking the Bills too. I mean, it's just like Cam Newton's just absolutely terrible.
It's a bad spot to get the Bills right now too.
Right. I mean, this is like if they got to get right, and if they're going to get right, they're going to get right.
If they're a real legitimate contender, they're going to win by 30.
And this makes it even bigger because look, they'll know going into this game if the Patriots lost to the Colts, and if the Patriots drop one, the Bills got to have a big one to stay in the AFC East race.
You don't think it could be a little bit of a flat spot for the Bills looking ahead to the Patriots and coming off the big Tampa Bay game? A little bit of like a valley.
Like a trap game here?
Yeah, but they lost 2 in a row.
I mean, but it's Cam Newton, so I'm not going to
bet. They lost 2 in a row, so maybe if they were coming off of a couple wins, yeah. But like this is a game that they need against a team that they're way better than.
Right.
And Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm heavy on the Bills.
All right. Before we get out of here, I have to announce a winner of the $25 gift card, right? I mean, it's a big deal. It's $25. It's going to fill your tank halfway based off of the new, the gas prices are shit nowadays. And we all know who to blame for that. Obviously, Kyle. Byron. But yeah, you can blame him for that one. But I will pick a winner at random. Well, I did already because there was about 15 or 16 people that retweeted, followed they subscribed. You couldn't get in the contest. We'll be doing more contests going forward to try to get you guys to subscribe. I don't want to incentivize anybody to follow us. So do me a favor. At the end of this show, hit the subscribe button on the Chop Sports Podcast Network or the Chop Sports YouTube channel because we do have the sauce here. He does come in once a week. The Football Fridays are great for him because he starts to give you his leans. He's not giving you his picks right away. Like there will be free YouTube videos. You can stay tuned for that. Shout out to your 11,000 people that decided to watch that video before kickoff last night. here I am just like, dude, if we get 100, right, it's going to be great. Like, and look, we're a growing
Well, my
business.
father watched it like 30 times.
Oh, well, good. Good. I went to all my TVs and just turned it on loop and just like, let's get those watch hours up. But we do want to thank everybody for tuning in, and announcing the winner here is Chase Aguilar. Chase Aguilar.
Oh, he's usually in the chat.
He is in the chat. He is a subscriber. He retweeted, so that does count as a new subscriber, because I said if you're already subscribed, I don't want to take it away from you. Retweet it and tag somebody else, and he did that. And I guess he got pulled at random. I use a little random machine here on the old MacBook, and Chase is our winner. So congratulations to Chase. We'll get you that $25 gift card, courtesy of Chop Sports. So don't say we didn't do anything for you.
Do we want to address the YouTube situation?
What is the YouTube situation?
We have a
The
situation.
Spurs. Do you want to make it?
Real quick.
Okay. There is a disclaimer.
So if we're going to, technically, the win last night was my 12th consecutive YouTube win. I lost with the Spurs, but in that video, I said, bet the Spurs if Mason Plumlee does not play. So, I mean, I'm not going to go
that
around.
Just get voided? It gets voided.
Yeah, but
that's the caveat.
We
though.
talked
That's
about the
not
asterisk before. This is the asterisk.
I'm not going to go with. I'm not going to advertise. Be like, 13 in a row. I'm not going to keep the streak going. I'm just like one of those, like.
But in a technicality, it's like, look, we all know, you know that I know
that I haven't.
We all know that he doesn't fucking lose on YouTube picks.
So
30-9 in my last.
Sure as shit didn't
YouTube
lose
videos.
anything last
But
night.
to explain why he won't retract is because people probably made that bet and didn't get the like
Exactly.
say
Myself
for example,
included. I bet it.
me, you know what I mean? Like
I bet it.
my buddy Jorge said, "Yo, what do you like today?" And I said, "I like the Spurs." I didn't like the fucking Spurs. I like the Spurs. So you get what I'm talking about. People made their bet. They can't really renege on a bet because if they announce something,
You lost the money already, so it doesn't matter.
And you could sometimes you could cash out, but it probably changed the line.
They do that for so selectively. I'm talking like DraftKings and FanDuel, like the cash out option. It's like it's available all day, but then as soon as one thing goes wrong, it just gets grayed out, and there's like, nah, you can't have your money back. You're out of your mind.
There's a pending.
Well, if there's a serious injury on NBA, a lot of people don't know this. If you contact the sportsbook, it's one of those last minute, like Kawhi Leonard announced he's not playing 40 minutes before the game. If you like, at least DraftKings I can vouch for, they will give you a refund, but you have to initiate it. You have to reach out to them.
Oh wow,
that's not like what Barstool was doing when they were first starting to get into the gaming situation. They were just literally giving bets back.
Can I ask
they
you a
thought
question?
It was a bad enough.
I got a question. Maybe you can answer this even better. Or maybe Gooch knows. When a company like Barstool, as big as they are, right? And again, one day Portnoy is going to be like, "What's Chop Sports? I want to buy them." Cool, man. We're sold, right? How do they fund their books? Like, is it all of their money?
Well, first of all,
It's
Barstool is like a
investors.
fake company now. It's not even Barstool is owned by a bunch of different people.
But I'm saying, are they like? Do I say like, "Hey, listen, we got to throw in $1 million each"? So let's just say there's 10 investors, right? So let's just say 10 investors invest. Like, let's say
it's not
the
like
book is
not like
opening.
there's like a bankroll. It's a casino. That's basically what it is. It's a
Yeah.
sports book. They're involved. What I want to say.
Where's that money coming from?
Investors.
Are they Caesars?
No,
Caesars is William Hill. But
They're Penn.
I don't know.
Yes, I think that's the Penn. Yeah, because I always see Portnoy pointing out Penn stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I was just curious, like, if somebody wins $1.2 million on a bet, you know, like, are they big enough to
Like,
fund that?
Portnoy is like the Dana White of Barstool. He's not really the owner. You understand
Yeah,
that?
they
Like,
have
he started
crazy
it.
investors
It's
in
different
there.
now. He's just the president. He's essentially in the deal. It's like you keep doing your what you're doing because you are the brand, but we own this now, and he's
Yeah.
getting paid a ton of money, and he got paid a ton of money.
What I don't like, and it's huge in this industry, and Barstool is like the number one offenders of this. And I don't want to. Never mind. Actually, I don't want to badmouth them on this platform. I don't like when people affiliate with a sports book and then give out betting advice. It's like taking advice.
Aren't you like kind of like, don't you want people to lose?
It's like playing you in chess, and I'm telling you where you should move. Like,
I don't know. That's kind of, it's weird. It just doesn't. I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
noted.
But in your head, even if like if it's DraftKings, like if Chris works for DraftKings and he's the one saying like you should definitely take the Cowboys minus 10.5, and I'm like, well, Chris wants my money, so
Yeah,
why would I
A little
go
Martha
with him?
Stewart
You know? Like,
action, a little
same with,
insider trading.
Pat McAfee and FanDuel. I mean, he's got rev share. He's getting percentage of your losses.
wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, look, the gambling
But
industry
I don't think
is
Pat
going.
McAfee's out there giving picks. He's just saying
He
what
gives like
He's
stupid
making
parlays.
his
like,
picks.
says
He's doing what we're
He
doing.
just tells you what he's betting.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not.
He
gives out, like,
gives out.
parlays. It's
Listen,
not-
he gets
there's-
pissed off.
What he's doing is
he
it's
goes live when he
entertainment
loses
value
these big
with
bets.
McAfee. He's not trying to make you like, oh, go bet this. He's not handicapping games.
No,
like
his
that.
is more an entertainment show. And
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I was watching it here yesterday. He has a spot with what's his name? Chuck Pagano. He has a spot with him. Great interview. But yeah, so anyway, I was just curious about that because I was like, wow, you see all these like this guy bet this and then won this, right? And I'm like, okay, if it's DraftKings and FanDuel and fine, it's like, all right, they got the money because it's just, but like the newer books, like your McAfee, I mean, not like your
thing
Pens.
As any of these books, if there's an app and there's a gaming app, there's a casino backing it.
yeah.
It's just that
Much
simple
like
as that.
SuperDraftPro.com is backed by Caesars. So like everybody's got somebody. And I totally get that. So if you want to go play daily fantasy, I forgot to make this plug earlier, go check out SuperDraftPro.com/Chop Sports. Go sign up. And it's really cool, man. Like it's basically a subscription service rather than just dropping $10, $20 a weekend. You pay $20 a month. You get all the stuff included. So it's actually pretty dope. But anyway, it's been a banger of a show. And I'm banger, by the way, because I know that Keith Ernst, host of I'm Your Football Team, put out his show yesterday. And he said, like, it's a banger. And he goes, I'm banger. And I said, is that a stab at me? Because I say banger a lot. And he just laughed it off. So I was like, oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But anyway, it's been a great show. We want to thank Kyle Kerms, obviously, for coming on in on a football Friday. So we've made his leans. Go check out kylekerms.com right now if you're a brand new subscriber to the show and you like to gamble and you like to place bets and wager a little bit. Kyle has a nice little track record here. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm not saying he's going to make you rich. But last night, collectively, all four of us, including the toast, screamed on the top of our lungs, whether it be internally or externally. I was, I had a sleeping baby on my chest. So I had to do the old, like Adam Sandler. I was like,
I actually got, I typically am stone cold. When I bet win or lose, you wouldn't even know if I won or lost money if you're in the room.
You show no emotion. Go on.
And I actually had a reaction yesterday.
You did have a reaction yesterday.
Good reaction.
When Kelsey cut left and then made that turn back right, and I was like,
it all slowed down for me. I was like, dun, 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 dun. I'm like, this is gonna work.
Dina, wake up.
We won. Oh, it was great. It was such a great game. But thank you guys for listening and watching today. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to Kyle's channel. He doesn't really need to subscribe. He's got a bunch of subscribers.
Everyone's welcome.
But everybody's welcome to go join the Sauce Network. Go over there. Check us out as well. We'll be dropping more content in the new year. We got podcasts galore. There's a lot of stuff going on with Chop Sports, but it wouldn't be possible without all of you. So thank you so much for watching. For Sturch and Gooch and the Sauce, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, and we'll see you guys on Monday to recap, hopefully, God forbid, if the Cowboys lose to the Giants. I don't know if I can make it in here on Monday, but I will anyway. I show up, win or lose. That's where we're at. And see you guys on Monday.
Peace.
Have ourselves a Sunday.
Get some money. Get some money.